I am so over everyone acting like Sharon could never do something like this. Seriously? She's no saint. This isn't Tracy we're talking about. Sure, maybe Sharon didn't actually kill her, but let's not forget, she did toss the body off the bridge. Big difference, right? And can we talk about the ibuprofen obsession? Remember how they made a huge deal about Sharon's pill bottle? I'm calling it now. Those pills were swapped out by Jordan and Ian. Oh, and the camera zooming in on the teddy bear? Totally a hint. I'm betting Jordan stuck a recorder in there. The clues are right there, people. Meanwhile, Kyle continues to be the worst. No matter what Jack and Diane do, he's permanently stuck in victim mode. Honestly, they should have let him crash and burn. Some people only learn the hard way. And let's not forget Diane's new court drama, thanks to Kyle's genius idea of stealing the Jabot product. Guess Jack and Diane conveniently forgot about that little gem. Speaking of dumb moves, whose brilliant idea was it to tell Kyle that their separation was just an act? Did they seriously think he'd keep it to himself? Also, quick question, wasn't this Ian guy obsessed with Mariah at one point, or am I losing it? Hey everyone! Welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. So Ian gets legally released from prison, and the first thing he does is break Jordan out. How is Victor not in the loop on this? And more importantly, why aren't the police even pretending to look for her? What? Did they all just take a collective coffee break? Also, can we talk about Ian lounging on that gross bed, pouring vodka into tomato juice? Deja vu, anyone? That entire scene is straight out of his past playbook. Same seedy motel room, same sad steak and wine combo. I can't even remember which poor woman was with him last time. Do the writers think we fans have the memory span of a goldfish? Or are they just too young to realize they're recycling the same tired script? And Sharon? Oh, she'll be fine. She always is. No matter what chaos she causes, the writers have her back. Worst case scenario? A few weeks in Crazyhead Claire's padded cell, fiddling with jigsaw puzzles and Chinese checkers. Then she'll MacGyver a popsicle stick shiv, bust out, slap on a pair of fake glasses as her disguise, and stroll right into the coffee house like nothing happened. And of course, no one in town will recognize her because, apparently, glasses are magical in this universe. Meanwhile, maybe Diane firing Kyle was actually doing him a favor, saving him from whatever disaster Glycade's about to become. But Claire needs to zip it with her forgive everyone lectures. Kyle doesn't need her Miss Potato Head wisdom, or her fluttery bedroom eyes, pressuring him to play the forgiving saint. He'll do it when he's good and ready. Dummy. Oh, and did anyone catch Diane telling Jack, I don't think giving Kyle this gift. Yeah, no way she's letting go of Glycade. And Victor? He's just sitting back, grinning because he knows Diane's in for a big surprise once she realizes what she's actually gotten herself into. Daniel confronts Sharon. Spoiler. Daniel unleashes his fury on Sharon, demanding to know why she killed Heather. Sharon, overwhelmed and in tears, tries to explain, but Daniel doesn't let up. Nick steps in, physically holding Daniel back, and eventually convinces him to leave. Together, Nick and Daniel head to the hospital to visit Phyllis. Outside her room, they run into Summer. The tension is palpable as Daniel vents his frustration, still livid. Nick attempts to calm him down, saying he's not making excuses for Sharon, but pointing out that she's been struggling with her meds for weeks. Daniel's not buying it. Really, he snaps. She murdered Cameron and left my mom at the bottom of the stairs to fight for her life. Summer chimes in, siding with her brother. Dad, that's true. You can't really be defending Sharon. Nick, holding his ground, argues that Sharon's actions stem from her bipolar disorder, but Daniel isn't having it. I don't care what you need to tell yourself to sleep at night, he retorts. This was personal. Sharon did this because of her history with me, and it all goes back to Cassie. Daniel's anger boils over as he vows to make Sharon pay, not with a short stint in a psychiatric facility, but with real prison time. Meanwhile, Ian's obsession with Mariah and Fate's reactions to Sharon's confession takes center stage. He orders Jordan to find out what's happening in town. "It's not like I can just walk around freely," Jordan protests. "You're the one who served your time and can roam free. Why don't you do it?" The two argue, trading barbs. Ian refuses to help Jordan until she gets the information he wants, so she reluctantly agrees to dig through her bag of disguises and figure out a way to blend in. Diane updates Jack. The deal with Victor is done. She sent the contract to the lawyers for review. On the surface, nothing seems wrong with it, but she can't shake the feeling that Victor gave it up too easily. For once, Diane's instincts are kicking in. She's not completely clueless. She decides to sweeten the pot for Kyle by trying to bring him back to Jabot, but their discussion gets cut short when Billy arrives. Clearly spiraling, Billy confesses to Jack that he's at rock bottom and needs his big brother's support. Good for Daniel. Sharon framed him, and all of Nick's excuses won't erase that. Sure, Sharon didn't actually kill Cameron, but Daniel has every right to be furious. And let's not gloss over the fact that Sharon almost killed Phyllis by leaving her for dead at the bottom of the stairs. But let's be real, Sharon is not completely innocent. Wrapping up a dead body, tossing it into a river, framing Daniel, stealing Heather's phone, and planting evidence in his home. That's not just a bad day on meds. Those were deliberate choices. Yes, she didn't murder Heather, but her actions made her an accessory to the crime. And spare me the "it was her bipolar disorder" defense. She had countless chances to call the police and do the right thing but chose not to. It's infuriating how Sharon always seems to get a free pass while someone like Phyllis would have been arrested on the spot. Double standards much? Wait, Sharon's back at home. Hold on, wasn't Sharon just confessing to killing Heather in front of Chance? The last thing I remember, she was calling him to come over so she could spill the beans. Daniel's murder charges were dropped, and it seemed like Sharon was finally about to face the music. So how is she suddenly back at her house, chatting it up with Michael, who apparently has no clue about what she's done? And she's already out on bail. That fast? I mean, come on. Sharon just confessed to tossing a body in the river, framing Daniel, and tampering with evidence. How did a judge decide? Yeah, sure, let's let her out. Where was the lawyer at the bail hearing, pleading her case? Isn't that like a thing? Honestly, this whole storyline is exhausting. And now we're dragging Jordan back into the mix too. She's lurking in her disguises, Ian's barking orders, and somehow we're still circling the drain on Sharon's mess. It's a lot. I need a break. If Sharon keeps getting free passes, where's the line? What happened to consequences? At the very least, they should have made her stay in custody a bit longer. This whole out on bail arc feels rushed and completely unrealistic. Will somebody please explain this? Why on earth are these convicts targeting Phyllis and Sharon when Victor and Nikki should clearly be their top targets? What's the motive here? Victor practically wrote the book on being untouchable, so why waste time on these ladies instead of taking on the Newmans? I told myself I'd stop watching Lie and R if Victor actually managed to snag Chancellor. Still holding out hope those papers weren't signed. But now, with Jordan and Ian lurking around town, I'm close to throwing in the towel entirely. I've been fast-forwarding through their scenes because, frankly, I just don't care to watch. That said, I'm still curious. Why are they after Sharon and Phyllis in the first place? Is it just me, or is this whole setup starting to feel like a stretched-out plot that doesn't even connect to the characters we care about? If this story is really about revenge against the Newmans, then fine. I get why Jordan and Ian would make a good team. But let's be real. If the writers can't even address why no one has noticed that these two jailbirds are out in the wild, it's just lazy storytelling. Jordan's prison break alone should have set off alarms everywhere, and yet, Nothing. Are we really supposed to believe that nobody noticed? Also, let's talk about Ian's big reveal of Heather's killer, which apparently sparks some new mystery. Yawn. Another plot twist that feels more like a half-baked idea. Josh Griffith might be proud of himself, but viewers aren't buying it. We're not dumb, and it's insulting to act like we'll just accept these gaping plot holes. At this point, the show feels like it's juggling too many storylines without giving any of them the attention they deserve. Jordan and Ian, over it. Victor and Chancellor, we'll see. But if the writing doesn't tighten up, Y&R risks losing even its most loyal fans. Jason Thompson's injury left his castmates in a spiral of morbid curiosity, one even quipping, "Are they gonna have to amputate?" Ah, the magic of dark humor on set. Apparently, the bruise looks unsettlingly familiar to some viewers, evoking memories of skiing mishaps and bruises the size of dinner plates. While outer thigh bruises might have been survivable with some patience, the inner thigh is a whole new level of agony. Here's hoping Jason heals up quickly. Meanwhile, soap fans are all over the place with their thoughts on the latest storylines. Some think things are dragging on, shocker, while others argue 2024 has been a banner year for drama. Case in point, the first Jordan saga, complete with arson, kidnappings, torture by Brussels sprouts, Victor's dungeon, naturally, and a messy custody battle with Summer and Kyle. That escalated quickly. Then there was the Glissade saga, Victor's revenge rampage after Jack's wild decision to OD to help Nikki. This led to Victor grooming Kyle to take down Jabot, Audra pulling her best double agent act with Victor to sabotage Tucker, and the inevitable Kyle-Audra showdown. Not to mention Jack and Diane staging an elaborate fake fight to save him. Soap opera gold. Ashley's Did arc brought the camp energy we didn't know we needed, especially with the twist that her alters were caused by her therapist's evil twin. Peak melodrama. Billy's redemption arc during the Chancellor story gave fans a reason to genuinely root for him, even if Lily's meddling grated on nerves. Jill's betrayal was a gut punch. Chelsea and Adam's infidelity with each other, despite their ties to Sally and Billy, made waves too, especially amidst Connor's OCD struggles. Oh, and just when things were getting messy, Nate's brother is here to stir the pot even more. Finally, Sharon fans rejoiced as she took center stage in a murder plot, only to find herself being gaslit by not one but two psychos. Talk about a comeback. Sure, it's not perfect, but at least the writers are serving up classic soap chaos again. Love it or hate it, at least it's giving us something to talk about. Jack and Diane's latest stunt, pretending in front of Billy, has sparked some head-scratching decisions. Diane suggested stepping down from Jabot and handing her co-CEO position to Kyle, convinced that appeasing her bratty son is the only way forward. Because clearly rewarding bad behavior is the perfect strategy to earn his loyalty to his manipulative parents. Genius. If that wasn't ridiculous enough, there's the looming drama of Glissade. Diane seems keen on claiming it for herself, thanks to Victor's oh-so-generous offer. But let's be real. Victor never gives without strings attached, and Glissade probably has a poison pill or two baked in. Still, Diane seems to think running Glissade solo will give her independence, free from Jack's favor. Why be co-CEO and forever subservient when she can something outright? Meanwhile, Jack is stuck playing referee in this family circus. Did he even respond to Diane's harebrained idea? Is he really going to let Kyle, who's actively sabotaged the family business, slide into the co-CEO spot he's been scheming for? Because, sure, turning on your family and trying to destroy the company definitely deserves a reward. Stop the madness, Jack. Diane's plan might seem clever to her, but it's a ticking time bomb. Let Kyle have the job where he answers to Jack, and she'll cling to Glissade, until Victor's revenge plot inevitably blows up in her face. Oh, Diane, this won't end well. Ian's return to the show is nothing short of chef's kiss perfection. His diabolical plot with the crazy lady is easily the most entertaining thing they've done in years. The scene where they clinked their wine glasses and laughed? Absolute gold. Ian is, without question, the best bad guy they've ever had on this show. Move over Jordan. He's the real MVP of Victor's adversaries. And honestly, watching these two together is like a dark comedy. I'm hoping they keep Ian around for a long, long time. I mean, how can you not love him? He's the guy who once played the devil himself. That wicked smile, the sparkle in his eyes, he knows how to play the villain. I'm honestly happy for the Ian fans still tuning in, enjoying every moment. But sigh, if only this plot didn't feel so dumb and didn't involve the potential elimination of one of my all-time favorite characters. If it weren't for that, I'd probably be enjoying this ride with you all. But alas, here we are. Did Victor set Diane up? Oh, absolutely. Some fans are speculating that Glissade might launch a product using a formula Kyle stole from Jebot. But wait, if Diane owns Glissade, wouldn't she technically own both? I get so lost in these ever-changing ownerships. It's like a soap opera in itself. Let's not forget Diane's firing from Jebot, part of this ridiculous plot she and Jack cooked up. But surprise, it was Diane's laptop that Kyle used to steal the formula. Plot twist. Maybe she planted it there herself? After all, it could be something disastrous, like a slow-burning poison disguised as a beauty serum. And wasn't Gloria involved in something like this when she was married to John? I think I remember something about her tainted face cream. Could be a recycled plot, but who's counting? If Diane did plant a harmful formula, it would explain why she's so hell-bent on keeping Glissade. That way, it wouldn't have any real value and she'd be stuck with a money-sucking dud. Not a bad way to sabotage her own future. Here's the thing I don't get though. Why would Jack and Diane bother with Glissade at all? Why not just take any valuable intellectual property, nab the useful employees, and sell the rest for whatever they can get? They did get it for free, so everything else is just pure profit, right? But then again, Victor knows Jack and Diane's breakup was a total sham. So giving her Glissade as a time-released poison pill when she inevitably tries to merge it into Jabot's product line. Yeah, that's classic Victor move. He's got this all figured out. Well, it's finally happened. One of my dreams has come true. After 8 long years, Ray Wise has finally made his long-awaited return as Ian Ward. I couldn't be more thrilled. But wait, it gets even better. His partner in crime, the one and only Jordan, is also back, and the two of them are up to no good, scheming their way through Genoa City. I am so excited to see how this unfolds. But hey, why not have some fun with it while we wait? Let's make some predictions, shall we? Who exactly are Ian and Jordan going to target next? What brilliant plans are they hatching? Right now, their big scheme seems to be framing Sharon for Heather's murder. But where does this wild ride go from here? Ian's got a deep, personal vendetta against Sharon. He's out to ruin her life. And don't even get me started on his hate for the Newmans. Plus, let's not forget, he raised Maria in his twisted little cult, so that's a whole other layer of mess. As for Jordan, she's also got a beef with the Newmans, and it's possible she's after some sweet revenge on Claire, who she raised to despise them just as much. According to Josh Griffith's interview, the two biggest targets are likely to be Mariah and Claire. Could they be in for a kidnapping? Maybe both together, or one at a time. Oh, the possibilities. Jordan will probably try to recruit Claire to her side. After all, they've got that shared hatred of the Newmans. Ian, on the other hand, is most definitely focused on separating Mariah from Sharon. He's been obsessed with that for a while. But wait, here's a thought that just popped into my head. Ian and Jordan are already a dynamic duo, but what if they need a third wheel? A little extra spice to take things to the next level. And I think I've got the perfect candidate, Ashland Locke. What if Ashland isn't dead after all? What if he's been working with Ian and Jordan this whole time? I can totally see Ian being the one to save him. After all, Ashland's got his own share of enemies and a whole list of reasons to join forces with these two troublemakers. What do you think? I'm honestly surprised Chelsea hasn't ended up pregnant yet. But then again, with all the chaos in her life, maybe that's for the best. As fertile as Chelsea is, it doesn't seem like now is the right time for a baby. But then there's Sally, casually dropping the bomb that Adam is still in love with Chelsea. And surprise, surprise, this sparks a little interest from Chelsea in Adam again. Billy, meanwhile, is so over her betrayal and the whole mess with the Baltimore boink. And of course, Billy's favorite hobby lately has been blaming Adam for absolutely everything. Let's break it down. The Baltimore boink? Adam's fault. Chelsea rejecting him? Adam's fault. Sally turning down Billy's advances? Yep, that's Adam's fault too. The bad press surrounding Billy and Newman Media? Totally Adam's fault. And don't forget the problems at Chancellor Industries leading to Jill selling CI to Victor. Guess who's to blame for that one? You guessed it, Adam. Is the Skyle reunion coming to a screen near you? Claire is getting a glimpse of Victor's charming other side, and now Kyle's feeling drawn to his ex. Then enter Aunt Jordan, who's ready to swoop in and work her magic on the vulnerable Claire. Maybe, just maybe, Claire will become interesting, because right now, she's just wandering around with a kettle, asking, "Would you like some coffee?" While delivering lines like, "I thought you were my friend. Why'd you do that to me?" Look, Claire and Kyle can co-parent just fine, and they make decent friends. But romantic chemistry? Sorry, there's none of that. It's as exciting as watching paint dry. I really hope they give her something to do soon, because otherwise, she's just there, a completely useless character. But seriously, can we just not bring back Skyle? Please. How is Jordan able to roam around town without anyone noticing her? I mean, seriously, I had to laugh when she walked into the room where Ian was and dramatically took off her sunglasses. What a brilliant disguise, Jordan. No one will ever recognize you now, obviously. But hey, maybe she's got a secret offshore account, so when it's time to disappear, she can just pull out some cash, grab a new wardrobe, book a hotel room, and, of course, pick up some fresh sunglasses. Will Chance ever catch on that Jordan's escaped? Honestly, he's so clueless, I'm betting Victor will figure it out before Chance even has a clue. Oh, and let's not forget, Jordan probably has that magical satchel, the one filled with endless disguises and a stash of cash. I am really loving Tessa right now. She's such a great actress, and her character is finally starting to shine in these recent scenes. I'm really hoping the writers come up with an amazing storyline for her soon. It's long overdue. On the flip side, I'm really struggling with Abby and Devon. They're just boring. Zero chemistry, and it's hard to get invested. As for Tessa and Mariah, they've kind of hit a lull too. Maybe something will happen to shake things up for them, though even if it's just a brief separation, it could lead to some interesting developments. And honestly, Tessa and Daniel, they've got way more chemistry than I expected. Maybe there's something there. Tessa's on recurring, but she could really use a strong storyline to make her a focal point again. Sharon's selective mental illness is getting ridiculous. I get it's a soap opera, so things are often exaggerated, but this portrayal of Sharon's mental health is not only laughable, it's downright harmful, especially for people who actually live with schizophrenia or other psychotic disorders. Let's give credit where credit is due. Y&R did an outstanding job with Chelsea's depression storyline, especially when it came to the suicidal ideation. It felt real, grounded, and sensitive to the issue. But Sharon, her mental illness feels more like a plot device than an actual representation. The show paints her as selectively manipulative, implying that people with mental health issues can't be trusted, even when they're on medication. That's a dangerous message to send. And now, suddenly, Sharon is magically cured, with zero explanation or exploration of how or why that happened. It's like the writers just decided to wrap it up and move on. Even after this miraculous recovery, Sharon still comes across as manipulating everyone around her, Nick, Michael, you name it. It's hard to see her as a complete victim, especially when she's been involved in some very shady actions. Take the whole Heather situation, for example. Whether Heather's dead or not, Sharon disposed of a body, and there's a real chance that Heather wasn't even dead until Sharon made sure of it. That's not exactly the actions of someone who's just been sick. What in the actual hell is happening right now with Sharon? 1 minute, she's in this complete daze, all moon-eyed and speaking in slow motion, staring off into space, and the next, she's suddenly snapped out of it. And let's not forget, she's seeing Cameron now? What is going on? Then, we've got Jordan and Ian, living it up with wine, steak, and asparagus on fine china by room service in some seedy hotel. Seriously, is this what they're trying to sell us? I feel like the writers are about to give us, the audience, a mental breakdown next, because this is just too much. And while I'm at it, can Victor please come up with something else besides night of debauchery? It's like we get it. Victor, you're really into the whole bad guy with a fancy vocabulary act, but that phrase is getting old. Here's my theory, and I'm willing to bet I'm pretty damn close to being right. Glissade is about to launch a groundbreaking new product, one developed using stolen data and formulas from Jabot, courtesy of Kyle, who swiped it on Victor's orders. Of course, Newman Media will make this theft public. And with Victor never having officially owned Glissade, he's now handed it over completely to Diane. Guess who takes the fall for all of this? That's right, Diane, with Kyle and Jack getting dragged down with her. It's brilliant business scheming. The moustache has truly outdone himself this time. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.